Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Game 2 of our Bones of Arnor campaign, the Thieves Lair. So pull up a chair and let's continue our journey. Alright, well, we are going to begin our second chapter of the Bones of Arnor campaign, the Thieves Lair. And so let's go ahead and continue. The Thieves Lair. You have slipped beyond the ruined walls of the old fort. You have an opportunity to break their foothold, but their number is too great to completely overcome. You will need to locate and defeat their leader. The next adventure will be a battle map, okay? And we're still, looks like, in the South Downs. Okay, and so as I said at the end of the last video, I do get an opportunity to level up here and to buy some new cards. And so if you're interested in that, you know, stay with me. But if you don't care about what I want to buy for XP, I will put a timestamp down in the description so you can jump right to the first round of the game. So let's go ahead and see if we can level up. All right, so we have Word of Warning, Word of Warning, Baited Trap, and Trail Sign as options here for Beravor. Now, I want to show you what those are. Here's Word of Warning. Here's Baited Trap and Trail Sign. Now, as you can see, none of them have success symbols. And so I don't really know for sure if this is something I want to purchase, because I don't want to clog up my deck with cards that don't have a fate or success symbol. But I have looked over these abilities. They're pretty good. They could be helpful to me. And you can sell cards back after adventures. And so right now I have 4 XP. If I buy this, I'll have 1 left over. And then if I get at least 3 XP at the end of this second mission, and then I sell a card that I buy today, sell it back, then I'll have 7 XP and I can go to the next higher card. And the 7 cost cards do have a fate icon, so I could just use it for one campaign to see how it goes, and I think I will, just to try it out. And I was looking at these, and well, let's read them together. The Word of Warning: when you are a nearby hero, test agility. You may discard this skill to add 1 success and scout 1, and it's also a sprint 1. Then Baited Trap: when an enemy moves into a space with another hero, you may discard this skill to apply 3 hits and pierce to that enemy. So this is going to be on a battle map. That could be a good one. And then Trail Sign: after another hero moves into a space, you may discard this skill for that hero to choose to either move 1 additional space, become hidden, or interact with a search token. I actually think I'm going to go with Trail Sign, just because I know it doesn't benefit Beravor at all, but it would benefit Legolas, and it can let him move a space for free if needed. He can become hidden, which can help him in combat or defense, but it also can give him a free action in the form of an interact. And so that's kind of the big deal there, that he could possibly get a free action on an interact. And it doesn't say that I have to be nearby him to be able to use this. So I think I'm going to go with Trail Sign here for Beravor, and I'll put that in a sleeve and put that in her deck. Okay, I'll shuffle up her deck in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and move over to Legolas. Now here's what Legolas can choose from. He can choose either Resourceful, Coordinated Strike, or Quick Snare. Now he already has Resourceful, so that's one of his starter skills. As you can see there, you might be able to see it down there underneath his player board. So why would you want to buy Resourceful as a card and have 2 in your deck? Well, as I said, you can not only sell XP back, but you can also change roles after adventures. And so one of the reasons why you might want to buy Resourceful is because if you really think it was a good card and important for your hero to have that card, but you want to switch from the hunter role to something else in another game, Well, if you don't have resourceful, if you don't buy it, and then you switch, say, to captain or guardian, you're not going to have resourceful in your deck at all. So if you want to make sure you have it in your deck, you can buy it here while he's a hunter, and then when you switch roles, you'll have another starter card for whatever the new role is, but you will maintain resourceful. It'll be in your deck and have to come out. But that's the reason why you might want to buy it. But I'm not going to buy resourceful. I don't think I need to. I'm actually going to get Coordinated Strike because this is going to be a battle. I think Legolas is the damage dealer, or supposed to be. It says before you strike with this skill, if there's another hero in your target space, add a modifier or card of your choice to the attack, strike one. And so you have to, so you do have to strike, and you can only, from what I understand from the rules, you only use one skill during a check. And so if you wanted to strike and wanted to use this ability, you're going to be striking for one, but to be able to choose a modifier of your choice as long as another hero's in the space, there's a lot of good ones. And so I'm going to go with Coordinated Strike. Okay, well, I've purchased my cards that I had, and as you can see, they both have 1 XP left. And I do have, as you see in the bottom left over there, lore 8, and that's where you can upgrade your items, but I don't have enough lore to upgrade items, so let's just go ahead and continue on. We're not going to change any roles, so let's embark. A living silence hangs within the old stone walls, apart from the sounds of night and the crackle of small fires. There is no sign of defenders. Place battle maps as indicated. All right, so let me go ahead and take care of that. Okay, so we got the battle map in place. Let's continue on. As you draw closer, the smell of too many people living too long in the wild surrounds you. Closing in on a single flickering light, you enter an inner courtyard. Place heroes as indicated. Each hero scouts 3. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be going in here at the bottom left. And we're going to scout 3. So we'll go ahead and let's just do Beravor first. And let's see what she gets. Ancient Wisdom. Unyielding Spirit and Paths Unseen. Okay, well, as you remember, Paths Unseen is good because it allows her to sprint, and after I sprint, I can move another hero in my space, but it does take a success out of my deck. But with her, I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to keep these two. And since I don't have any inspirations, I'm actually going to put both of these on the bottom. But I want to show you, if you remember, Trailblazer here. If before you sprint, gain 1 inspiration, sprint 1. Well, if I sprint with Paths Unseen, I can gain an inspiration before I sprint. And then if I sprint with Trailblazer, I can get another one. So these two would combo off together, would give me some inspirations if I need it. So I actually may go ahead, I think, and well, Trailblazer is definitely going to be prepped. I'm going to go ahead and, even though I'm taking a success out, and put Paths Unseen in her deck, and then I'm going to put those two Fate Icon cards at the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we can do for Legolas. So he has his weakness, and I could prep that to get it out of the deck, but then it would take up a spot for the rest of the game. Honed Agility and Keen Eyes. Well, I'm not going to keep Misfortune because Honed Agility is his attacking stat. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and put this at the bottom. If you can see on the Great Bow, it requires agility to test his weapon. And so that would give him add a success if I needed it. So, and then Keen Eyes could let him strike 2 and attack from 2 spaces away. Both of those are actually pretty good. I think I'm going to actually go ahead and prep Keen Eyes. And then with Honed Agility, I think he does have an inspiration, because when you prep Resourceful, you get an inspiration, and you do prep it at the beginning of the game. That's why he has this inspiration here. But I'm still going to put it at the bottom and hope my successes are up at the top. All right, so we've scouted 2. Let's go back over to the app. All right, place 2 following terrain, 2 bushes. Okay, it looks like 1 bush is up here, kind of and right there, and then 1 bush right there. And let's see what that does. All right, place the following terrain, 3 walls. Okay, so we're gonna, looks like we're gonna have a barrier here and a barrier here. And then it looks like we'll have one up here. So we've only got, looks like 1 way to get into whatever this den is over here. All right, 1 fire pit and 1 boulder. Okay, so the boulder goes over here next to the wall there, it looks like, and the fire pit goes in the middle. From the shadows surrounding you step menacing forms. Torch in hand, an orc shouts a warning. We have guests. Defend the courtyard. Well, we knew it was going to come. Place 2 Goblin Scouts on the indicated space, and they, looks like they have a banner with them, and they are elite. If you can see down here, their portrait means that they're elite. And let's click on them and see what, well, it won't let me click on them, so let's place them first. Okay, so they're going to be right there and coming in the courtyard, and they will come in with a banner. Okay, so they'll come in with this brown banner. And then we have a ruffian on the indicated space. Looks like just 1 ruffian, but he's elite too. And he will go right next to this bush. And he has a banner as well. Let me get that banner set up. All right, so he'll come in next to the bush. A rusted old portcullis rattles closed behind your assailants, but beyond it you see others gathering their arms and courage. If you could jam the mechanism, it would slow down what reinforcements may come. Place a threat token as indicated. All right, way back here in the back of the map. On the other side of the ruin, a rude shelter has been erected. The largest structure you have seen. Its canvas doors has been painted with a strange sigil, a twisting, jagged shape that is both foreign and familiar. Lore increases by 2. Place a search token as indicated. And so that search token, the words are kind of blocking, but it looks like it comes down here. Yes. As your foes spring forward, you grit your teeth. These orcs from Mount Graham and the armament of thieves is beyond what you expected. A greater threat is at work here. You must find answers, and quickly, for you have but moments before the might of this company is awakened and brought to bear against you. Objective updated. Find the leader of the orcs and thieves. Okay, so we have that objective. And we got to move fast because we only have 26 threat in this one. If you remember, I prepped the spell Keen Eyes, which says that your ranged attacks can target enemies 1 additional space away. So I am going to go ahead and attack with his first action, but I'm not going to attack this ruffian that's over here. I'm going to attack these 2 goblins because they're in a group. And let's just go look and see real quick to the app and see what their hit points are. The ruffian has 7 hit points, okay? And the goblins both have 5 apiece, and they have armor. So, yeah, there's a couple of those. So I'm going to use Legolas's Keen Eyes ability to attack these goblins from 2 spaces away. So let's go to him, and he gets to test agility, if you remember, because that's what his great bow says here. And so he gets to draw 4 cards for this test. All right, there's 1, and that's success. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Well, I don't get. I only get 1 success. I do have this inspiration token. I think I'm going to use it to go ahead and convert one of these fate tokens into a success, and so that's going to give me 2 successes. And as you can see right here, on the great bow, that is 5 hits. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that in on the map. We discard the cards, and I'll take care of that. Okay, so we were attacking the goblins and we hit him with 5 hits. And it is not enough to kill him. And so they can't attack back because he's at range. Okay, so now I have a choice here on what I can do, because if you end your turn next to a bush, you can test wit, and his wit is 3. And if you pass, you can become hidden, and that can help him defensively or offensively. But there are 2 goblins left, and I would like to try to take care of them. And since everybody's 2 spaces away, and Beravor still has a chance to act, I'm going to go ahead and use his second action to attack again using Keen Eyes. Now, I do have Strike 2 with Keen Eyes, and so I can attack from 2 spaces away. And then if I want to add those 2 hits, I can. And let's see, they should have, let's see how many hits they have left. Real quick here. They have, well, with their armor, they have 8 hits. And so I won't be able, yes, I could. If I can get 3 successes, I can take these Goblin Scouts out right now. So let's go back to Legolas and go ahead and see if we can beat him. Draw 4 cards. We have Immortality, which isn't going to do us any good. We have 1 success, 2 fate tokens, and 2 successes. Okay, well, we can only get 5 hits because of his great bow. We can only get 5 hits. We got 2 successes. I could discard Keen Eyes to add 2 more for 7, but it's not going to be quite enough to kill those goblins. But it will kill both goblins, but it will kill one. So I'm going to hold on to Keen Eyes and use these 2 successes to do another 5 damage to those goblins. Okay, so let's put those 5 successes in. As you can see there, Strike 2 would not kill it, so there's really no reason, in my opinion, to waste that now. But let's apply those, and we will get to remove, we'll get to remove 1 Goblin Scout from the board, so I'll do that from here. And it's going to be, no, the enemy cannot attack. And so it's going to be Beravor's turn. All right, now, she, unfortunately for her, she has no ranged, and so she can try to go up and finish off that goblin, but I don't want to leave her a sitting duck over here in this courtyard, because I don't know what's going to come out over here and attack her. I kind of want to keep them on this side of the map, so I could use her sprint skill to be able to get an inspiration, and I may actually use Trailblazer to do that, even though I really don't want to. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to go ahead and move her 2 spaces with her first action over here, because if you end your turn in a space with a bush, you can test wit, which hers is only 2. But you can test wit, and if you pass, you can become hidden, so that can help her. Now, if I would have sprinted, I would be able to scout 1, but I think I'm doing the right thing here. I'm not going to be able to kill him, because if I remember, he has 7 hits, and she's got to get 4 successes to be able to get 7 hits. But as long as I get 2 successes, she can at least stun him. So let's go over to Beravor. And again, she has agility of 3, so we're going to draw 3 cards for her. So nothing, 1 success, and nothing. So she only got 1 success, and so that's only going to be 2 hits. So he's going to be able to counterattack on her, and that's not good. But let's go to the app and put that in. All right, so she did 2 hits. And yes, he can attack her. Your foe's curved blades is glint with the promise of your demise. Test might, and she'll take 2 damage if that happens. Okay, so let's go back over to her. And we're testing might, which is a 3 for her. 1, 2, 3. So no successes because she doesn't have any inspirations. So she's going to take both of those hits face up. So her first one is going to be flip 1 damage and 1 fear face up, then discard this card. Well, I don't have any attack or fear, so I'm just going to discard it. So that was good. I didn't have to take I don't have that damage, but this other one is flip this card face down, so she will have to keep that in her play area. Okay, so back over to the app, and we'll confirm that. And then she has her second action, so we're gonna go back over to Beravor, and we're just gonna try to attack him again. He's got 5 hits left, and we'll see what we can do. So she gets to draw 3. Nothing again. All her successes must be at the bottom. She doesn't do any damage this time. So we'll put that into the app. At least he's exhausted and won't be able to counterattack her. Let's see what happens when you apply 0. No, the enemy cannot attack because he's exhausted. Oh, he's elite. Elite enemies can counterattack. Forgot about that. So a ruffian brandishes a jagged knife. The blade, although rusted in places, looks very sharp. So spirit negates, and that's a 3 for her. She's 3 in everything but wit. If you suffer damage from this attack, gain a weakness and shuffle it into your deck. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. Let's go see if she can negate this. She's only got to negate 1. We're drawing 3, and we haven't seen a success yet. And that's not going to help us. That's 1 weakness. There we go. There's a success. And there's our 2 successes. Well, at least she negates the damage, so she won't have to shuffle it into her deck. All right, so we'll go ahead and let the app know that we're done. And that's both of her turns, or both of her actions. And again, if you end your turn in a space with a bush, which she has, and it doesn't say if there's an enemy there or not. I guess she can climb the tree and hide from them somehow, but it doesn't say if there's an enemy, you can't do this, but you may test wit. You have to get a 2. If you pass, you can become hidden. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Very unlikely that she's going to pass because we've already seen 2 successes and she only has, her wit's only a 2, but we're going to go ahead and test it anyway. Nope, it's not going to happen. And not only that, but if you remember, we prepped a success. So she doesn't get to go hidden. That's okay. We'll live. All right, so Legolas has taken his turn, and Beravor has taken his turn. Beravor has taken her turn, Legolas has taken his turn, so we are done. Go to the shadow phase. Okay, the goblin is going to move to and attack Beravor, and he can do that, so we're going to go ahead and move him to up over here. A thin goblin lets out an ear-splitting cry, trying to unnerve you. You stand your ground, fixing an icy stare at the wretched creature. Spirit negates. If you can, and if you suffer no damage at all or fear, you gain an inspiration. Well, I've got 1 card left in her deck, and Spirit is 3, so we're going to go ahead and go back to her. We'll see what this one is, and it's just going to be that, but I'm going to have to reshuffle her deck, so give me a second to do that. Okay, so let's draw the other card. I've finished shuffling, and nothing. So she's going to have to take that fear, and there's the trail sign that doesn't give us anything. So that didn't help us that time. So she will have to take a face-up fear. She's not going to get an inspiration. And the face-up fear is each nearby hero flips 1 damage face up, then flip this card face down, okay? You're not nearby yourself, and Legolas is 2 spaces away. So she'll just take that. She's at 1 damage and 1 fear. The good news is she does have a fear limit of 6 because of her travel garb. Okay, let's go back to the app and let's move on here. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 5. All right, rally phase. I got a feeling that the threat event at 6 is going to be that more orcs come in across the way here back at this threat token, but I don't think there's really much we can do about that. I can try, but I can maybe try to get Beravor over there. We'll see. But we get to scout 2 first of all, so let's go ahead and we'll start with Beravor, and we got to reset everybody's deck. Let me do that first. Okay, so Beravor is going to scout 2. She gets Clever Wit and Undying Might. Well, Clever Wit, the Wit's her worst stat, and if you're near a bush and you end your turn near it, you can become hidden. Don't know if I'm going to need Wit much, but I think I'm going to go ahead and prep that and put Undying Might at the bottom because I don't have any inspirations. And I'm going to move these damage tokens over a little bit, these damage cards. Put that there, and let's go over to Legolas. And we'll have him scout 2, Unyielding Spirit, and Precise Strike. Okay, so Precise Strike will take a success out of the deck, but I'm looking at the board here. Let me show you the board state. And if you remember, I have 2 cards that allow Beravor to sprint. So if I sprint here and then to here, and then use her first action as a movement to move 1 point in here, and then interrupt that movement with the second action to deal with this threat token, then whether or not I take care of this or not with Beravor, I can move her back to the boulder space. And the boulder space says if you test to negate damage or fear while in a space with a boulder, you may convert 1 inspiration to a success. And so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is have Legolas go first, attack to try to, he should be able to kill one of them, try to kill both, and if he can, and then try to have Beravor do what I just said without having to attack at all. I may even provoke an attack to be able to try to shut down that threat token. But let's go back over to Legolas. So I'm going to go ahead and take Precise Strike because even though it's taking a success out, 1 success with his great bow is only 2 hits. Precise Strike is 3. So I'm going to go ahead and prep that. And he doesn't have an inspiration because I forgot to discard Resourceful to give him 1. That was a mistake. So I'm going to put that at the bottom and hope we have a success somewhere up at the top. Okay, so that will be his turn. Or that will be the scouting. Action phase. I'm going to do what I just said. So Legolas will be going first, but I want to see what the hit points are. The Goblin has basically 4 left, so he'll either need 1 success. Well, 1 success can kill him off with a strike 3 or 2. And then same thing with this ruffian. So there's a good chance the Legolas can kill both of them. And I'll just go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and attack that Goblin first just to make sure I get one of them out of the way. So let's go over to Legolas. And he's going to attack the Goblin. And he can because he's 2 spaces. Keen Eyes lets him attack from 2 spaces away. So with his agility test, he's going to test. You got 1, 2, 3. Oh, good. Well, I was getting nervous there. So he did get a success. That's only 2 hits. But so let's go back to the app. And so we got 2 hits. We don't have any inspirations to spend. We don't want the ruffian. We want the Goblin. As you can see, 2 hits, that's not enough, but I will go ahead and discard this strike 3 here to make it 5 hits so we can go ahead and kill this Goblin Scout. All right, let me discard his cards. So we're going to be doing 5 hits to him. All right, remove 1 Goblin Scout. You or a nearby hero gains an inspiration and give it to him. Because with his second attack, he's going to go after this ruffian, and he needs to get 2 successes to be able to beat him. And Keen Eyes does have a strike 2, and I can use that. I can use strike 2. I can attack from 2 spaces away and still use the strike 2. But I'm going to still need actually 2 successes because 4 hits won't be enough. All right, so let's go over to Legolas. And he's going to draw 4 cards again. I could convert that to a success. There we go. There's 1. So I think I have it. All right, so I've got 1 success cleanly. I will use his inspiration to turn another one into a success. So that's going to be 2 successes. And as you know, the great bow there has 5 hits with 2 successes, and that's going to be enough. And I don't have to discard Keen Eyes. So we'll go back over to the app and put in the 5 hits. All right, remove 1 ruffian. You or a nearby hero gains 1 inspiration, and it will go back over to Legolas. All right, good. So we are going to go over now to Baravor's turn. And so Legolas can't do anything. He's done. Oh, actually, at the end of his turn, I'm going to discard Resourceful to give him an inspiration token. I don't want to forget to do that. So now he's got 2 inspiration tokens. And so as you remember, I'm going to sprint here and then sprint here and then use my actions to use 1 action to move in, interrupt that movement action to try to take out this threat token. No matter what happens, move back to this boulder. So let's go over to Beravor. And so she's going to sprint 1 with the Path Unseen. And remember, after you sprint with this skill, you may place another hero in your space without provoking attacks, okay? Sorry about the blurriness there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. She's going to sprint here to the bush, and then she's going to bring Legolas with her. And she gets in, and before she does that, because of her Trailblazer, because of this Trailblazer skill that she had prepped, she gets an inspiration for doing that. And then I'm going to sprint again with Trailblazer. And before I sprint, I get an inspiration. So now she has 2 inspirations. So she'll sprint here into this space. And then with her first action, I'll go ahead and make it a movement, move in. And then I'm going to interrupt that movement, as I said before, to interact with that threat token. So let's go ahead to the app and do that. All right, the portcullis is caked with rust, but it seems to be functional, okay? So we're going to try to sabotage it. Finding the chain that raises the portcullis, you attempt to unbalance the weights and break it. Test wit. So her wit's the worst thing, but I sure am glad I have that clever wit card because that can guarantee a success. All right, let's go over to Beravor and see if she can do this. She gets to draw 2. We don't know how many successes we're going to need, but we're going to do the best we can. There's 1. I can actually convert that to a success. There's 2. I can't do anything. So I will use that to make that a success, and then I'm going to spend Clever Wit to add another success. And so I've got 2 successes here for this, and I don't think that's going to be enough. But we'll go to the app and see if it is. The chain snaps, shrieking and clattering as the mechanism shatters. Threat decreases by 6. Discard this threat token. All right, so only 2 successes were needed to do that, and I had just enough. And so it's a good thing I did what I did there. So let's continue on. And looks like that's it. So with her last movement point, I'll move her back to the safety of this boulder, and that's going to end their action phase. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 4. Rally phase. Oh, there's nothing to do here. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and scout. We're going to reset the decks, and then we'll start with Beravor. Okay, so we're going to scout first with Beravor. She can take Time of Need or Trail Sign. All right, well, Trail Sign is good because, again, it helps Legolas. He can become hidden or interact with a search token. And it would take something that has nothing out of the deck. Oh, but Time of Need is so good because if you ever draw and you don't have any successes, you can turn all the fate into successes. I really like Time of Need. I'm going to prep that, and I'm going to put Trail Sign at the bottom. Okay, so we'll go over to Legolas, and he's going to scout 2, a strike 3, and Ancient Wisdom. Well, again, strike 3 on an offensive is better than 1 success, but right now we don't have anything to attack or fight. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep Ancient Wisdom because I never know if I'm going to need it. And then I'll put Precise Strike back on top so I can hopefully get a success on something. All right, action phase. So let's go to the board and see what we want to do. All right, well, I checked the app to see what this search token is right here. And apparently it has something to do with the leader being inside of it. It's some kind of a tent or something. And Legolas can't get there on this turn to do anything with it. He doesn't have enough movement because one action would come here and the other action all he could do is just move in. Beravor can get here and do it, but then she's a sitting duck if a bunch of people spawn right here on top of her. But I don't want to waste a turn and not do anything. I want to move forward because there is a threat event, I'm pretty sure, coming in the next shadow phase. So we're going to start with Beravor, and I'm going to move her 2 into here, and I'm going to interact with that search token. Okay, the lane 2 displays a strange symbol painted on its front. Your foes position themselves to defend this structure. Their leader is surely within, so I can sneak forward, or taunt the leader out. And I'm not going to taunt him because she's only got 4 hit points left. And so I'm going to try to sneak forward. I do have Time of Need. I do have an inspiration. So maybe I can succeed. I'm hoping it's like an agility test. Yes. Taking care to avoid placing your feet on the treacherous rubble, you pad forward. All right, so we're going to test agility. So this is a draw of 3 for her. We've got Gift of Men, Unyielding Spirit, and a success. Well, that's unfortunate because I was hoping I could use Time of Need to get a bunch of successes, and one comes out, so I can't use Time of Need, but I do have an inspiration. I guess I'll go ahead and, well, I'm tempted not to do that because I don't want him to come out and I don't have any way to get successes with it. I'm just going to go with the 1 success and see what that does. So let me discard this and put in 1 success. A large canvas hangs across the entrance, obscuring anyone inside. As you draw near, you attempt to peer around it, but you're immediately sent sprawling by a vicious kick from a hobnailed boot. Your eyes water and you struggle to regain your feet. A large, scarred orc emerges, laughing cruelly. Come, little one, we fight. So suffer 2 damage and discard this search token. Then place 1 orc marauder as indicated. This is Golgatar, the orc leader. Okay, so we do have an orc. And let me find one. Okay, you're supposed to suffer the damage first. But I'm going to go ahead and put Golgatar here in the space with her. Discard the search token. And and so she's going to suffer 2 and discard the search token. Let's move over to her. All right, she can Oh, it doesn't say that she gets to negate this at all, so she's just going to suffer 2 damage. All right, keep this card face up. When you perform the travel action, move 1 fewer space. After you rest, flip this card face down, okay? So I can only move 1 space from here on out, but I don't think I'm going to need to move a whole lot. That's not too bad. And then flip this card face down. So she's got 3 out of her 5 damage. Okay, so she really needs to be able to rest. And there is really nothing that she can do about that. We discard the search token. So let's go back to the app and continue. The scarred orc bears a large tattoo on his blubberous arm, the same strange sigil you saw painted on the tent. The symbol is an amalgamation of orc superiority and something foreign, or perhaps very old, like a twisted script of Westerness, inscribed by an evil hand. Regardless, the reverence of all those around him mark this orc as their leader, and if defeated, surely your foes will flee. Lore increases by 1. The final objective is to defeat Golgotha. All right, so we've already called out the big guy, and all we got to do is defeat him, and right now it's just him and the 2 of us. But unfortunately, Beravor can't do anything. I wish she could attack. She'd have a chance to stun, but she can't. But Legolas can go now, so he will. He's going to use his first action to move over here into this space, and he's going to attack from here, because when you attack from a fire pit, you can discard a card with a fate icon from the test to add Pierce. And let's just go and see how much, what all he has here. 10 hit points, 3 armor. He's well equipped. Each enemy gains extra health and armor. Orc champion, when Golgotha attacks, his damage and fear are increased. And he's an orc champion. Same thing. So he just had, looks like, increased damage and attack and fear when he attacks. And the enemies gain extra health and armor. Okay, so he has 10 hit points and 3 armor. All right, so Legolas is going to attack him. And he does have the strike 2, and he doesn't really need right now to attack from 2 spaces away, so I may consider using that. Well, let's see what he can get. He draws 4. All right, there's 1 success. All right, we got 2 successes, which is 5 hits. And I could, like I said, discard Keen Eyes to get a strike 2 and add 2 hits. So I'm going to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use one of his inspirations to give him 3 successes so he can do 7 hits, and then I will discard Keen Eyes here to give him a strike 2. So he's going to be doing a total of 9 hits. So he only got 1 attack this round, but he certainly made the most of it, doing 9 hits. And you can discard a card with a fate icon from the test to add Pierce or Smite. So let's put those back up here. This is what I had. This is what I drew. So Keen Eyes doesn't count because that's going to give a strike 2. And so I am going to discard, and I used 1. I turned 1 of these in, so I do have an extra one here. I'm going to discard that to add Pierce to it. So he's going to be doing 9 hits with Pierce. That's almost going to kill him. All right, let's go ahead to the app and put that in. All right, so I get to use Pierce, and I'm doing 9 hits. Can the enemy attack? Okay, is he ranged? Okay, it doesn't look like he's ranged, but he does have a banner that he was supposed to have with him, and I didn't put it on there, so I'm going to do that now. And so I think that's his banner. But because he's not ranged, he does not get to attack. Okay, so we're done with both actions. Let's go on to the shadow phase. All right, move 1 and attack Legolas. Well, I'm glad he didn't want to attack Beravor because she's already taken some damage. So that's good. And it doesn't matter that Beravor is still his space. It says to move 1 and attack Legolas. He can get to him. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to come over here and attack him. Golgotor taunts you in between brutal blows from his blade. 4 damage and 2 fear. If you suffer any damage from this attack, discard 1 inspiration, okay? And that's going to be tough because his wit is 3, so very likely he will take some damage. So I'm probably going to discard this 1 inspiration, but he's only got like 1 health left, and I'm going to have the opportunity for like 3 attacks next time. So anyway, let's see if Legolas can negate any of this. It's going to be a wit test. All right, 1, nothing. All right, so I'm gonna. I only have 1 inspiration left. I'm gonna lose it anyway because I'm gonna suffer damage. So I'm gonna turn 1 of these into a success, and I will have it negate his damage because he only gets 4 total hits on him. So if I don't negate that damage, he's going to have to go immediately to a last stand. So I will negate 1 of the damage and take the 2 fear. So let me put these, discard all this. So he's going to take, so as you can see there, he'll take 3 damage. So we'll do the face up, we'll do the damage first. Discard all of your inspiration, then discard this card. Good. So you won't have to worry about that because you don't have any inspirations, and he gets to get rid of that. And then the next one, keep this card face up. When you scout during the rally phase, you cannot place cards back on top of your deck. Okay, so I got to remember that. So that's 2. Flip 1 damage face up, then flip this card face down. So he's got 2 damage, and then he's going to take 2 fear. All right, the first fear is going to be flip this card face down. The other one, flip this card face down. Okay, so that's not too bad. All right, so he's got 2 damage and 2 fear. Okay, we'll confirm the attack. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures, threat increases by 4. All right, a bandit archer on a high wall looses a shaft with practiced precision as more enemies scramble into the courtyard. Beravor suffers 2 damage, but agility will negate. Okay, so she can handle, no, she cannot handle 2 more damage, so hopefully she can at least negate some of this. Let's see if she can negate any of it. So agility is 3 for her. That's not what we want to see. That's not what we want to see. Well, I'm going to use her final inspiration to negate 1 of the damage that she's supposed to take. So she will only take 1. She will only suffer 1 damage. So I thought everything was going good, and all of a sudden we got Beravor close to being defeated with damage, and Legolas has some damage as well. So her face-up damage is going to be each nearby hero flips 1 fear face up, then flip this card face down. And Legolas is nearby her, so we'll do that in a second. So she's going to flip this face down, her 4 out of 5. And so we'll go over to Legolas. He's going to flip a fear face up, but as you know, it's just gloom, so he's going to flip it right back down. Okay, so let's go back to the app. Place 1 Goblin Scout on the indicated space. Okay, so he's going to come in over here by these bushes. Place 2 Goblin Scouts on the indicated space. We have all kinds of enemies coming into the game now. We're here in the courtyard, and they have a banner that comes in with them. And the rally phase. Each hero resets their deck and scouts 2. I'll take care of that right now. Alright, we'll start with the scouting for Beravor. She can get into hiding. And Mistwalker. After your hero explores a tile, you may remove this skill from the adventure to place your hero on any space on that tile. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to prep into hiding because during her turn, she can discard that skill to allow herself to become hidden. And if you happen to remember, hidden, if you were attacked before you rest, you prevent all the damage. But when you attack, you may discard this boon to add 1 hit. And let me just go back to the app and show you that if you remember, well, I can't show you. But, all right, I tried to bring up his hit points, the Golgator's hit points on the app, and it wouldn't let me do it because we're in the rally phase. But anyway, he's very low on health. All that she needs to do is do 2 hits to him, and she can defeat him. Now, so 1 success, if you know from her staff, 1 success here is 2 hits. And if she attacks from a fire space, she can discard a card with a fate icon to do piercing. Well, if you look at the board, here's Golgator here, and then Beravor's here. So she can move in. She can go into hiding here in this space, move in with 1 action, attack with the second one. The hidden will give her 1 guaranteed success, which means 2 hits, and then she can discard a fate icon, a card with a fate icon to get pierced and kill him. So all I really need to happen on her attack is to draw at least 1 card with a fate icon. So I'm definitely going to be preparing into hiding, and of course this hidden card doesn't go in there. And Mistwalker, I don't have an inspiration or anything. I do have time and need, but I'm going to put that at the bottom of the deck because when she goes into hiding, and this is something, if you can see her ability once per round, after you sprint, hide, or strike, you may scout 1. I forgot to do that earlier when I sprinted, but when I go into hiding, I can scout. And so I don't really need Mistwalker, but if this top card is something beneficial, I can prep that as well, or put it back on top to try to help me succeed. So that's what I'm going to do with her. Okay, and Legolas is going to scout 2, and if you remember from his exhaustion card, I cannot put a card back on top, so I hope I can get something useful with the draw. I get Unyielding Spirit, which won't help me much, and I do get a success, Light-Footed. When I interact with a search or threat token before you test, and I'm not going to be able to do that, but I do have a success. Unfortunately, I can't put that on top of my deck. And I'm not going to be interacting with a threat token or anything, so I'm either going to put it on the bottom and lose a success, or I'm going to have to prep it and put Unyielding Spirit on the bottom. And really, either way, neither one's real good for me. I hate to see this. That exhaustion card really is messing me up. I'm just going to put them both on the bottom. So that's very unfortunate. And I'll make sure that I put Unyielding Spirit at the very bottom. Not like it's going to make any difference. All right, so we've scouted. Let's go back to the app and let the app know that we've done that so we can continue. All right, action phase. Well, I am going to do what I said. I'm going to be going into hiding, and then I'm going to have Beravor go first and go into hiding, and then scout 1 with her ability, and then go and try to see if we can't defeat Golgator right now and go ahead and end the game. So I'm going to, before I do anything, I'm going to discard into hiding. And again, during your turn, if there's no enemies or spaces, and there isn't, I can do this to become hidden. So I'm going to do that. She will become hidden. I'll just put it there for now. And after she becomes hidden, after she hides, she can scout once. So let's see what she gets. Fateless, that is perfect, because as you see there, when you test, you may discard this skill to convert all fate icons to successes. It's a better version of Time of Need because it doesn't, because you can convert the fate icons even if you draw a success. And if you remember from Time of Need, if you do not reveal any successes, then you can convert it. So Fateless, you can do it. It doesn't matter what all you draw, as long as you get some fate icons. So that was a perfect opportunity to scout. So I'm going to be scouting that. And I did not stack this deck. I did shuffle it. I just got very lucky. So now I have two good opportunities here to get two successes. And you know, in case something goes wrong, because with Hidden, I can get one guaranteed success and two hits. And as long as like I said earlier, as long as I draw a fate icon, she can defeat him. So let's go back to the board. And so she's hidden. For her first action, she's going to move in here with Golgator. And then she is going to attack Golgator. So let's bring him up. All right, see, he only has one hit point left. So we'll go. And she's going to draw 3 for her staff, because that's her agility is 3. So we have weakness. There we go. We got a fate icon. All right, so I could choose to go ahead and use Time of Need here if I wanted to get 3 successes, and I could stun him, but then it wouldn't kill him. So that actually would not be a good idea here. So I'm not going to use Time of Need in this situation. I'm going to go ahead and just use Hidden to add the one guaranteed success that I need to get 2 hits from her staff. And then I'm going to discard this Undying Might for the fate icon because I'm on a space with a fire pit. I'm going to do that to be able to add Pierce to the attack. So let me go ahead and discard all of this. And we'll go to the app and tell them what we're doing. All right, we're going to hit Pierce, and we're going to do 2 hits. Remove Golgator, you or a nearby hero gain 1 inspiration. All right, so we're going to do that. I'll just give it to Beravor. Golgator falls to his hands and knees, gasping for air and spitting dark. Vicious blood. You step forward to subdue him, but something in the orc's carriage gives you a moment's warning. In a flash, he lashes out and attempts to sweep your legs from beneath you with his own. The hero who defeated Golgator tests agility, okay? And we don't know how much we're going to need, but that means Beravor is going to be testing agility. And that's going to be 3. I do have an inspiration, and I have 2 ways to get a lot of successes. The weakness is already out of the deck. So hopefully I can avoid any kind of bad things here, and that's not a good start because there's nothing there. We got a success, and we got another success. So 2 successes on that, and let's see if that's going to make any kind of a difference. Okay, before you even strike the ground, he regains his feet and brings his massive fist down onto your chest. The impact of your fall and the strike of his hand land at the same moment. You suffer 3 face-down damage. Place Golgator in the space with the hero who tested. Continue your assault. That is not cool. So he does not get defeated. She suffers 3 face-down damage, and she can prevent 1 with her travel guard, but there's no way to prevent this. So she's going to suffer 2 face down damage, and that is going to defeat her. So I'm going to have to, let's go ahead and continue. We'll go over here to the person thing and say that Beravor, I have to perform a last stand. It's a damage one. Your wounds are severe, but perhaps you could still go on. Test might. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. She's going to test might, which is a 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Sorry, my discard pile got messed up. All right, so no successes. I do have this inspiration. I'm going to turn one of them in to an inspiration, and we're going to pass that test. Or turn one of them into a success. We're going to pass that test, and I'm going to save up my other 2 cards that I have prepped for something else, hopefully. So she passes. Discard all face-down damage, gain 1 inspiration, and continue the adventure. So she'll get an inspiration back, and I'll discard all the face-down damage, which will still leave her with 1 hit, but at least she's in the game still, and the game is not over. Okay, we got 2 of the skull. I'm not sure what that is. I guess if I die 2 more times, I guess maybe it gets harder. I don't know. But we'll go, and now it is going to be Legolas's turn. And, well, he gets 2 attacks here. And I don't even know. Let's go back and see how many hit points Golgator has. He's got 8 now. Okay, so this is going to be tough. I don't have anything that adds any extra hits, so hopefully he can succeed here and knock him out on this turn, because we have some other enemies we're going to have to deal with, but we'll see what happens. All right, so for his first action, he's going to attack, and so he'll draw 4 cards. Tireless, Coordinated Strike, that. So I did not get any successes, and that, nothing, absolutely nothing on that attack. So I don't think it really matters, but we'll go ahead and put it into the app that he didn't do anything, except for the fact that he can, Golgator uses his superior bolt to force you back, eventually knocking you flat onto the ground. Okay, so 4 damage, and 2 fear, and might will negate that. All right, his might is only 2, and he might have to do a last stand. There's 1. He doesn't have an inspiration though, so he does have 1 success. It'll negate something, but it won't do enough. So he's gonna. I'll just have him negate the one of the points of damage. We'll go ahead and do that. So he gets this. Deplete 1 of your that and discard 1 prepared card. Then discard this card. Okay. He doesn't have that, but he gets a discard. That was 1. So 2 more. Put this face down. So that's going to be a total of 3 hits on him. And put it face down. So he is going to be defeated by damage. But let's go ahead and do the fear. If you are in a space with darkness, suffer 1 fear, then flip this card face down. Okay, I'm not, so I guess I flip it face down. So he's got 2 fear on him. And flip this card face down. All right, so he has been defeated because he's got 4 hits and he only has a total of 4 damage. So we'll go back to the app, confirm this, and Legolas has to do a last stand. You feel your body failing and you try to rally, test might, and that is his worst stat. I might lose here. I thought I had a chance to win and I might lose. I'm testing might. I need a success. Nothing. And nothing. I do not have an inspiration. So I'm going to fail this. So let's go back to the app. And he fails it. You have fallen. Remove your figure from the map and start of the next shadow phase. You will fail this adventure. So we're going to remove Legolas from the map. And that's it, because he doesn't have any more actions. The sun rises, and in the gray light of dawn, your strength finally gives out. You push forward to finish your task, but the defenses of your foe remain unbroken. More defenders slip down from the walls around you. You have run out of time. The great orc Lieutenant Golgotar jeers incessantly as you make your hasty escape and barely avoid being surrounded and captured. You set up camp at a short distance away, hoping to remain out of the bandits' sight while keeping them within your own. You spend the night resting and recovering, and the following morning you realize that your foes have slipped away in the darkness. You pack quickly and locate the trail, not lose your quarry again. The heroes have let Golgotar and his band escape. They will need to follow close behind to have a chance at stopping the dark plot afoot. Lore increases by 1. Each hero receives 3 experience. Well, that's the end of Chapter 2, a very disappointing end. I have watched a video on Chapter 2 one time, a long time ago, and I knew that he got back up and made you pass a test, but there's nothing I could do to prepare for it. I mean, I did the best I could. I had 2 cards for Beravor that would allow me to get 2 successes, but she drew a blank and she drew 2 successes. So I really didn't need to play it. And then she got that, so she put in the 2 successes and still he got back up. She passed her last stand, but Legolas went and he got counterattacked, didn't do anything to him, got a counterattack and ended up getting defeated. So, I mean, I just don't know what else I could have done differently. If all Legolas had to do was draw 1 success to get 2 hits, he could have discarded a fate icon, and I could have, well, no, because he had full health. So he would have been counterattacked anyway, I guess. Well, that's what it is, and you can see what chapter we have next, Chapter 3. Thank you for watching the video, and if you like the video, please consider to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when the next video comes out for Lord of the Rings Journey in the Middle of the Earth, or any other video I have coming out. And until next time, I'll save you a seat at the table.